Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and welcome back to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. And from Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, the Offshore Ale Company. And this is their Menemsha Creek Pale Ale. It's an American pale ale. Menemsha Creek Pale Ale comes in with an ABV of 5.0% ABV. Interesting thing about this ale, it's named after a small fishing village in Martha's Vineyard, but also the proceeds from, or some of the proceeds from these beer sales go to support the U.S. Coast Guard Foundation. The U.S. Coast Guard Foundation assists the men and women in uniform who serve the United States Coast Guard with education and other support that they need on the outside. And my brother was in the United States Coast Guard for 20 years, retiring proudly in 2003. So in my brother's honor, I guess, I'm going to try a beer that supports the Coast Guard. Now, Offshore Ale Company is off Martha's Vineyard, and they have, half a dozen or so, maybe a little more, maybe a dozen or so beers that they've got currently available. And let me give this one a pour and see what it looks like, what it smells like, and of course what it tastes like. Okay, into the glass. There we go. Set this down just for a minute, put this here so hopefully you can see it a little better, and bring up the glass. Okay, we're looking at a nice highly carbonated copper colored ale with pretty good clarity, and a nice little soapy, foamy, off-white sort of cream head. But you can see here that it's got a lot of bubbles that are going on up the glass from the bottle. Under the light, there's some hints of yellow gold, but mainly up close it looks more copper, amber, medium amber in that regard, which is about what an American pale should look like. Check out the aroma. There's a nice pale malt character on the nose, and a light hop character, a slightly floral, slightly earthy, coming up behind. Just there to kind of tickle the senses, but not to overwhelm the aroma, because I'm getting more of a sweet caramel pale malt sensation up front. Now let's check out the taste. Ooh, took a big swig on that one because it's quite good. Now, the body on this is about medium, light to medium. Definitely a slightly creamy sensation. About the taste, though, right off the bat, you're getting a slight, kind of decent sweet malt character, the caramel malt character, similar to what I got on the nose, but the hops come in much more abundantly as I'm tasting it. Sweet malts for the first second, followed abruptly by a good, moderately bitter hop sensation that just comes barreling on in on the backside and lingers. This hop note is lingering on, kind of like an IPA it might. Basically balanced, a little more hoppy than some pale ales that I've had, but basically a balanced beer, a decent enough balanced beer. This is the kind of beer you want to drink with burgers, or hot dogs, or barbecue grill stuff, things of that nature. The good old standard pale ale, good for just about any time of year, although I tend to drink more of them in the warmer months as opposed to the colder months. But that aroma also just continues to linger while you're tasting it. The bitterness continues to expand. The hoppy bitterness continues to grow with each sip. It just kind of warms up a bit and gets more bitter as time goes along with each sip, and it just really gives itself a nice distinction in that regard. And the lacing isn't quite as much as you might like. I mean, I like to see lacing. But I guess one might argue that if anything is left on the side of the glass in the form of lacing, that's less beer that you're actually drinking because it's stuck on the side of the glass. Do you get that logic? Well, that's my logic. How's that? Anyway, but you can argue with me about it or not if you want. I don't care, but that's how I'm going to look at it. But this is really overall a pretty nice beer. But I like pale ales anyway. I mean, pales are just the all-around go-to beer. I mean, most pales I will drink and enjoy them, and I have them with just about anything. They're the kind of beers I drink when I'm just kind of sitting around, maybe doing work around the house, whatever I'm doing. You know, just it's not something I'm really, per se, just drinking to enjoy the taste. It's more just to drink to enjoy a drink, really. And color, you know, that head continues to stay in there pretty well, and that's kind of nice. You know, it's really a nice craft beer, I must say. This is the Offshore Ale Company, and this is their Menemsha Creek Pale Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.